What's going on YouTube world? Austin Zaback here with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Fundrise and everything you need to know before you invest your own money into it. If you've been following me for any time at all now, then you'll know that I got into real estate when I was about 18 years old, and I've been investing into it ever since. My primary investing strategies are wholesaling real estate, fixing and flipping real estate, buying and holding, aka rental properties, and I also hold an active real estate license in the state of Arizona. So as you can tell, I'm not huge in investing my own money into online real estate crowdfunding platforms like Fundrise. And my reasoning behind that primarily is just because I like to own 100% of the real estate I buy, and I like to go touch it, smell it, feel it, and even taste it. And honest and truly, I don't even think crowdfunding real estate was that popular until really the age of the internet. So now you have all kinds of different platforms just like Fundrise on the internet, okay? You have Diversifund, you have CrowdStreet, you have Equity Multiple, PeerStreet, and Realty Mogul. Fundrise has really been a big leader in the space since its launch in 2012. Fundrise has actually invested more than $4 billion worth of real estate across the United States, and today the company manages upwards of $1 billion of equity on behalf of more than 130,000 investors. So I decided to go ahead and make a Fundrise account to see if it was what everyone said it was cracked up to be, or if it was too good to be true. And I figured at the end of the day, if I was going to make an account, I'd go ahead and make a video on it reviewing exactly what my thoughts and feelings were. So if you haven't already, or you're new to my channel, I would just really appreciate it if you would just take just a quick minute, go ahead and just smash that like button, as it really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Fundrise essentially uses simple investing to give investors the opportunity to buy real estate through crowdfunding. This way it allows people to buy real estate without having to take a ton of time and a ton of money to actually go through the different agents, brokers, and contractors involved, and also having to make the necessary repairs or having the long-term property management that you would kind of have to have when you go out and you buy 100% of your own property. Fundrise, in a nutshell, makes it easy to become a real estate investor. And I never really thought that I would actually say that, okay? I never thought that easy and real estate investor would come out of my mouth, okay? Although it isn't necessarily hard, it's relatively simple, I've never really considered it to be easy. Definitely be prepared to do your own due diligence. There's always risks involved with any type of investment that you'll make. And there's also underlying costs that a lot of people don't necessarily advertise. Fundrise, like any other platform, has pros and it has cons. So definitely make sure you stay to the end of the video, because we're going to break all of that down here for you. If you've ever had any interest in investing into real estate, whether that be crowdfunding or wholesaling or fixing and flipping or the BRRRR method, okay? Any type of real estate investing that you've ever been interested in, just stay to the end of the video, and you're definitely going to be glad that you did. So as I said a little while ago, there's definitely many other platforms just like Fundrise, but we're really just going to break down Fundrise for today. And if you really liked the video, by the end of it, just drop into the comments section letting me know that you want me to make videos on different platforms as well, and I'd be happy to do so. I will say, for whatever reason, after diving into all the different forums and all the different articles before making this video, and obviously making an account of my own and investing my own money, there's definitely a lot of controversy around Fundrise in general. There's a lot of different investors that don't necessarily agree on the platform, and I'm not entirely sure why, so I'm going to stay out of the drama of the entire thing, and I'm just going to break down for you what my personal thoughts and feelings are. So if you're not 100% sure of what crowdfunding actually is, let's just go ahead and break that down before we jump into it. Essentially, crowdfunding is just taking minimal amounts of money from multiple different investors to invest in something larger. And of course, in this particular case, that something larger happens to be real estate. The platform really just gives everyday, normal, average people or investors the opportunity to invest into real estate and make a profit or make a dividend, again, without actually having to go out and to purchase the real estate in 100% entirety. A couple of years after Fundrise was created, they went out and they created an eREIT. And an eREIT is an electronic real estate investment trust. And it was essentially invented to make real estate investing, again, available to anybody and everybody that wanted to invest into real estate. An eREIT is pretty similar to investing in a mutual fund or a good ETF. So let's just go ahead and break down the pros and the cons of Fundrise so you can make a simple decision on whether or not it is a platform that you want to go ahead and invest in. The first major pro that I see with Fundrise is the minimum investment. The minimum investment is about $500 with the basic investing account, which in my opinion, gives just about anybody and everybody the opportunity to invest into real estate. Another great pro is that Fundrise allows pretty much any and all investors to actually go ahead and invest. You do not have to be an accredited investor to invest in the platform of Fundrise, and you only have to be 18 years old, and you have to live in the United States. And one of my personal favorites is the fact that the website is very easy to use. It is very user-friendly, very easy on the eyes, easy to look at, and easy to maneuver around. And I feel like there are definitely a lot of different websites out there that are not easy to use, they're not user-friendly, and honestly, when you log in, you really have no idea what you're looking at. Another really big pro that I like about the Fundrise platform is they actually have an IRA account, which is an individual retirement account. To me, that is really cool because it allows you to diversify a little bit. If there's a different type of account that you want, then you can definitely find the account that suits your investment needs. Another one of my favorite things about Fundrise, and this is really, really big in my opinion because I tend to get really busy, okay? And I tend to not have time to remember to make my investments, okay? So with Fundrise, you can set it to where it automatically deposits money right into Fundrise for you on your behalf. It'll pull the money right out of your checking account on whatever day that you choose. Also, whatever amount that you choose, which in my opinion is just a really, really good pro. Again, for people that are really busy, they're always on the go, you miss a couple of months on investing your money, and over the long haul, with compound interest, that can really, really make a big difference. So you don't want to miss anything, okay? If you want to, invest $500 a month, you want to make sure that you're investing your $500 a month and you don't miss a month. And another one is that you can select your dividends to be reinvested for you. So every time you get a dividend, it'll automatically reinvest it on your behalf if you want it to, which in my opinion, compound interest is honest and truly the eighth wonder of the world. So there's definitely pros to using a platform like Fundrise. Let's go ahead and talk about the cons for just a minute, and then at the end, I'll summarize everything for you into a nice buttoned up package so you can just essentially make a decision. And all I ask from you in return is that you just go ahead, if you haven't already, and just smash the like button, okay? It really does actually help me out with the YouTube algorithm. One of the biggest cons that I see with Fundrise and one of the biggest complaints across the board is that your investment can be very highly illiquid. And all that really means is that it can be very difficult to actually pull your money out without getting penalized. So if the value of real estate were to rapidly go down for some reason, okay, it can be very, very difficult to actually get your money out. Now, does that necessarily mean that Fundrise is a scam? Absolutely not, okay? Fundrise, in my honest opinion, I don't think it is a scam at all. I think it's a very legitimate company that obviously a lot of people are having good success with. But it definitely does mean that you need to think long and hard about it, and you need to be smart about where you choose to put your money. Because an illiquid investment account is definitely an account that you want to have money in over the long haul. And you can tell that. When I was signing up for the Fundrise account, you could tell by the questions that they were asking me in the questionnaire that they're looking for long-term investors. They're really not looking for people to put their money in for 3 or 6 or even 12 months. Because again, remember that if you're pulling money out randomly, it can definitely cause you to get penalized if they even allow it. And if you're not investing a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money invested, then that penalization could actually end up being more than your investment. Another con is that you do have limited choices on where your money actually goes. You cannot pick and choose what type of real estate investment you want it to go into. It will tell you, but you cannot pick and choose. This would actually fall into a different category, and it wouldn't be crowdfunding any longer. Crowdfunding. It's definitely a hard word to say. And really the last major con that I could find through all of my research and just really looking everything through extremely thoroughly was non-qualified dividends. And just kind of to break it down for you, there's really two main types of dividends. You have a qualified dividend and a non-qualified dividend. And really the main significant difference is a non-qualified dividend actually gets taxed as ordinary income, as opposed to a qualified dividend getting taxed at a much more lucrative tax bracket. I think with a lot of qualified dividends, they actually tax you at like a capital gains tax rate, which again, consult with your tax person, but basically that is the difference between a qualified and a non-qualified dividend. There's definitely also some complex costs that you want to pay attention to, okay? If you're familiar with the Motley Fool, they actually said that Fundrise claims in its marketing that it saves investors 0.37 to 5.45% annually on fees. In addition to its savings 23 to 40% up front compared to competing REITs, but investors should be mindful of the potentially high fee load and cost burden borne by its non-traded REITs. Okay, so again, that was by the Motley Fool, but some different things to definitely pay attention to as they can get a little bit complicated. There are always different fees that can be associated with any type of investment like this, and a lot of times they can get complicated and they can be a little bit confusing. And if you don't read through every single page when you go to sign up for something like this, then, again, a lot of times you can definitely get taken advantage of. And one of the main reasons that Fundrise actually says that they need the fees are to keep investors from liquidating at a low point in the market. As you know, the housing market is pretty much always an uphill, downhill trend. So at the end of the day, you really don't want people always just cashing out in a low market, because we know that over the course of time, real estate's always proven to go up over the long haul. I mean, really just in general, with having illiquid investments, it definitely can always cause a little bit of confusion when it comes to actually taking your money out and getting penalized and what those fees are and things of that nature. But you're really gonna find that with any type of online crowdfunding platform. I mean, at the end of the day, that just is pretty normal, right? It's just normal to have different fees and different loopholes associated with investing into something like that. So the question is, are you willing to have a little bit of risk to get a little bit of reward with a platform like Fundrise? At the end of the day, it is an app that does require you to pay attention a little bit, to learn a little bit about, and definitely to be smart about your investment choices. But I will say, on the other side of investing into anything, there can definitely be a lot of upside potential. My thought of the matter is always just to diversify your investment portfolio. Regardless of anything, I try to diversify. So if I have a little bit of money in the stock market, I also want a little bit of money in real estate. I'd like a little bit of money in gold. I'd also like to have a little bit of money in like bonds, a good mutual fund, a good ETF, and maybe even a little bit of silver. Overall, I actually think Fundrise is a great platform if you want to invest into real estate over the long term. But again, I don't think it is a great platform if you're somebody that wants to continue to pull their money out or you want to pull out your dividends all the time. I really think if you're going to invest into a platform like Fundrise, you should definitely plan on investing for a minimum of about 5 years. I also think it is great for anybody that wants to get into the world of real estate, and maybe you have a day job or maybe you have another stream of income somewhere and you don't want to actually manage the real estate, you don't want to fix and flip the real estate, you just want the benefits of real estate, the appreciation benefits and the passive income benefits, okay, but you don't actually want to have to manage it or anything of that nature. So I'm personally going to go ahead and continue to invest in Fundrise, and I'm also going to go ahead and continue to actually buy my own real estate. And maybe over the next 6 or 12 months, I'll make a couple of other videos on kind of the differences, right? The differences of going out and buying your own real estate and the differences of going with an online crowdfunding platform like Fundrise. So definitely make sure you stay tuned for that, okay? Again, if you liked this video, I definitely really would appreciate if you just go ahead and drop into the comment section below letting me know, maybe what I missed, what I can make in a future video, or different categories of videos that you'd like to see in the future in general. And if you haven't already, definitely go check out a couple of the links in the description below. I will have a Fundrise link there, which I'm not affiliated with them, okay, but I do think I make like a small amount of money, or I get like a little bit of savings if you use my link. So definitely check that out. And there's also a Webull link down below where if you open an account and invest $100, you could get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. So definitely go check that out. And last but not least, if you haven't already, definitely go check out my brand new podcast that myself and my business partner just recently created, where we interview unique people from all around the world talking about life, business, and money, okay? Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.